Hey, welcome back to Memo's Tech Tips. This is part 3 of a tutorial on components that you need to build your own rig. Basically, not that you need these specifically, but just a broad overview of which ones you need to get. The 9 essential ones, I think it is. So what's left on the tutorial is hard drives, aftermarket cooling solutions for your CPU, and the case. So let's get right into it. Hard drives, very simple. Mechanical, ranging in space between 500 gigabytes to all the way to 3 terabytes, which is 3,000 gigabytes. So here we have a Seagate Barracuda 64 megabyte cache, 7200 RPM, SATA 3 hard drive. Again, this is a mechanical drive, moving. There are a high velocity, discs. Sorry, inside that, and high in density, of course, because this is 3 terabytes. That store your information, basically movies, pictures, music, stored programs if you have them on here, your operating system if you are going to run it off this, and anything that's going to be physically stored in memory. If you want it permanently saved. It's not like the RAM or the other memory that we covered already. That's temporary just for your programs. So this is very simple. It's a 3.5 inch drive, SATA connectors for your motherboard and your power supply. Very simple, not bad. Basically just for storage. Now you can run your operating system off that, or you can run it off one of these. This is an SSD, solid state drive, SSD. This is the Odyssey 4 from OZZ. This has the Intellex Infuse controller, not the SandForce controller. They bought this company, so now they can use their controllers without having to share it like Intel, Samsung, and the other manufacturers of SSD. They're using still the SandForce controllers. These are much better controllers, better response, and quality and durability. So basically, this is a pair of size here. That's the thickness. Basically basically like a laptop drive, but this doesn't have any moving parts like a laptop hard drive. This is, I don't want to smack it. It's not mine. But you could basically almost fling this across the room, and the information stored in here will be safe. Unlike this, you fling this, even dropping it from this distance to here, you're basically running the risk of messing it up. So what does a solid state drive do for you? 100 times faster than that. Let's get that out of the way. But the storage capacity is not the same. I think you could find 3,000 gigabytes of SSD. Probably cost you about $500,000. I don't know, I'm just making up numbers. But in terms of price to gigabyte ratio, the mechanical drive still beats this drive right now. This is only 128 gigabytes, but it's enough to install your operating system, install 3 or 4 games and a couple of programs in there with space to spare. you install your operating system on here, you're looking at about 1.5 to 2 minute boot time. You install on one of these, you're looking boot time anywhere between 30 seconds to about 55 seconds, depending on your configuration, your motherboard, your CPU speed, and your RAM speed. All those play critical parts on how fast your system boots and how fast it runs. So basically, you want to install your main operating system on here, programs, and then save all your data on there. All your music, your pictures, all your media, all your documents, save them on there. In case something happens to your Windows system, you get a virus, you get conflicting programs, blue screen, just format this. You don't got to worry about this. Simple. All your system will be safe on here, and all you got to do is format and reinstall everything on your SSD. Another storage solution will be caching. Basically, you turn your mechanical drive into one of these by raiding them together, which basically turns two brains into one. So instead of seeing, let's say if I had 3 terabytes and raid them together, I'll see one 6 terabyte drive, but it's actually 2 of them. You can raid these together, but your motherboard requires specific hardware in it, and this hard drive uses this to cache it. Basically, it's like it reads it so fast. Whatever information you want goes into this first. It's pretty crazy the way you can turn a 3 terabyte drive into an SSD. Performance-wise, it's a little bit less than SSD, but you'll get 3 terabytes performance out of it. But you won't be able to like boot off of this. You have to install everything on your mechanical drive. This will be just used to help this out. That's basically it. So I'm still looking into seeing if you can RAID 3 hard drives together, or even 4 hard drives of the same capacity, same manufacturer, and cache them all with one SSD. If I find out before I post this video, I will put it in the description below. If I don't, then I'm pretty sure it'll be somewhere around there. So yeah, that's basically a solution. Another solution, this is like a budget, mid-sized budget, and then you have like the top budget, which I'm still working on getting, which is called a Revo drive, which is basically this in a PCI form. Basically like this board, the board itself, in all the solid state components will be on here, but instead of connecting it to the SATA port, you connect it to the PCI X4 port, and PCI Express shoots the pants off SATA port. So instead of 30-second boot time, you'll probably be looking at 20-second boot time. And when you click that button to open up a program, don't blink, because it'll be open already. So that's the high end. Those drives start around 400 to 500, and they go way past 1,000. The one I'm looking at is around 800. So that's the other option to get. So that's about it when it comes to drives. So now let's look at aftermarket cooling. That's what comes with your processor. We have the metal part, it's called a heatsink. Then we have the fan. Then we have here the thermal paste and a copper little plate there. Basically, you have the CPU. Attach this on there. CPU heats up. Then it heats up the metal heatsink, the aluminum heatsink. The fan spins, and all that heat goes away, and your exhaust fans take it out of the case. This does not, it's not sufficient to cool this down when this is running at about 80, above, I say about above 70% load. It's not enough to cool it. It will either blue screen you, it'll freeze on you, or it'll damage it. These components get extremely hot. This gets so hot, like the old style one, I heard of somebody touching it, he literally burned off his fingerprint. Not to play around with. So, what to do if I really don't want you to use this, and you shouldn't use this. As soon as throw it in the garbage. I'm just gonna 3-point from here into the garbage. You could use them for a little while until you're waiting for your solution. You can use them for a little while. You can go with something. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. Just hold on. So, we got liquid cooling. Liquid electronics? No way. Yes way. So, we have open loop system, closed loop system. Differences. You have to change the water on these about every 3 months. Well, let's look at the pros first. You can disconnect these, connect these. Let's say you have a liquid cooled video card, you can connect that to a video card, connect the video card to the CPU, connect the CPU to the RAM if you have liquid cooled RAM, and your whole system will be liquid cooled. Even some hard drives come liquid cooled with like a plate, which those mechanical drives get very hot. The SSD, you could, nothing. You could let a baby hold it, it's safe. So, same principle. Heat is on the block. This is full copper. Copper is better than aluminum when it comes to heat. Fluid in the tube. Cool fluid comes inside the block. Heat, it's already on the block because of the CPU. It's a thermal. It's already hot because of the CPU. There you go. Thermal exchange happens inside the block. Now the water comes out hot. Where does it go? Well, it goes in here and into the radiator. I'm trying to find it. There you go. Goes into the radiator like a car. The fan cools the radiator, blows all the hot air. You know, all the cold comes in cold. The radiator's semi-hot, blows all that out. The liquid gets cooled, gets fed to the pump. The pump pumps it back out, back into the block. The whole cycle begins all over again. A great solution. The cons. Change this water every 3 months, like I said. If you don't if you're not into that, you shouldn't get this. Also, thought I heard something. What was I gonna say? Forgot what I was gonna say. Another con. I'm trying to figure out a con or a pro. I think a pro. Yeah, pros. Basically, the only con is you have to change the liquid, which if you're not used to it after like 2 changes, then yeah, don't bother, because sometimes you have to take the whole thing apart, you know, take out the whole liquid, put new liquid in it, make sure there's always liquid in it every couple of weeks, make sure the reservoir is filled up. So, another good thing about this, the tubes come in different colors, blue, red, I don't know, pink, any color you probably could think of, they come in. Also, the liquid comes in that color, and a lot of liquid is UV sensitive, so if you put UV lights in your system, they will glow. The liquid will glow, and then when you have this nice side panel with a clear side panel, it looks awesome. So yeah, that's the open loop system. That's just one variation. That's the Thermaltake Big Water. They have different ones. You can custom make your own. You can manufacture your own if you have the tools for it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is called the H40 by Crosshair. It is a closed loop system. Christmas. It's been Christmas this whole day, but not for me. So we have brackets. I'm going to tell you what it is for in a second. Have a fan. And we have a radiator. Okay, so what's the difference? Water's already in here. You don't have to refill this. You have to make sure it's always full. This water will never go down. Why? Because it's closed. There's no air in it. So where's the water going to evaporate to? It basically gets hot enough, goes to, the pump is in here actually. There's a pump, goes to the radiator, fan, same thing, just like the car. Fan on there, okay? Basically this is what it will kind of look like when I'm done with it. So, be something like this. I will show some pictures at the end of the video. So it goes there, and the CPU, the block goes right there. So very simple, easy to install. Of course, read their instructions. Not that easy, especially if you haven't done it before. So it's simple. You don't have to. It's hassle-free. Basically, it's hassle-free. You don't have to worry about it. The only thing you gotta worry about is dust getting into the radiator, which is bad. You might have to clean the radiator once every 6 months, depending on how much dust you have in your house. Or depending what kind of case you have, because the case also helps with dust prevention. So, pretty cool. Doesn't weigh anything either. This thing weighs like a ton. Oh yeah, no, that's alright. There's different ones of this. This is this H40, there's the H60, the 70, the 80, and the 100. The difference is the thickness of the radiator. The more surface you have, the better the cooling will be. There's the size of the radiator. So like if this is a 120, there's a 140. There's also a dual 120. So it'll be like boom, and I'll show you where you install that dual. You can put it outside if you. Well, this one you can't put it outside. No, you can't put it outside. This one you can though. The open loop system with the grommet holes. I'm going to show you in a minute. So hassle-free, very awesome, simple. $75 around there. The other ones are higher up. The case. Now that you have all these components, you need somewhere to put them. And you need a case. Cases range anywhere between free to about $1,000, depending if they're aluminum or not. Fully aluminum cases, they're very expensive. So a lot of manufacturers have plastic with some type of alloy, but it really doesn't matter to me. As long as you have enough fans to move the air around. They say aluminum is the best because it keeps cool. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have a water-cooled block on there, so how much cooler do you want it? Yeah, you're going to have 200 millimeter fan, 200 millimeter fan, a side fan, this fan. Like, how cool do you want it? You might as well just stick it in a refrigerator. So, here we have the Thermaltape Chaser MK1. MK1. This is a mid-size tower. So looking for the front, we're going to start with the front. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25 bays. Easy to take out. Easy. Easy, easy. We have mesh. Good for airflow. And if we take this off, voila. We expose hidden workings. In the back of these, by the way, if you're only going to use one, in the back of these, there's like little filters. So it doesn't let in dust. So this is where the dust things comes into place. have the filter for dust also. Take this off, wash it, put it back on. Behind this is the fan. If anybody knows, fans attract dust because they're always moving. Like they're always building that layer of dust. Terrible. Don't like it. This is a 200 millimeter tricolor fan from Thermaltake. Red, green, red, and party style, if I like to call it. They like just change colors if you're in the techno mood. So that's 200 millimeter in the front. Yep. Let's do the top. Little box. I'm gonna show you what comes in there. The top. Now, depending on your motherboard, is the type of case you want to get. Because if your motherboard has USB 3.0, you want it in the front panel. You want to get a case that comes with USB 3.0, so you can use that feature. And in some cases bring 4 USBs, some cases bring 6 USBs, some cases bring 4 and a FireWire or an eSATA. So you want to make sure you have enough front panel connections or SATA connections that you're going to be able to use all of these. So in the front here we have 2 USB 3.0s, 1 eSATA, 2 USB 2.0s, the power button illuminated by LED, hot swap A. What's that for? You ask, Kelvin? For this. Hey, come to my house. I want to copy your drive. Okay. Wait. Okay. There we go. Boom. I'm copying your drive. Or I'm reading your drive. Either way. There we go. Or, hey, SSDs has become so cheap we can use them as hot swaps. Bring them over. Okay? Bingo. Easy. Okay? But that requires an eSATA, so you gotta make sure you have enough eSATAs, like I said before. So you already have two SATA ports that you need to make sure you have on your board. Headphone jack, microphone jack, reset button, power, that's power button. Reset button, high and low fan speeds, and LED light. Like I said, the lights change on the fan, so you can choose the light you want. The high and low fan settings are good if you're not gonna use your case. Let's say you're just doing regular surfing the web. You're not gonna have them on high setting for what? Just have them on low. Less airflow, less power consumption. Have them on low. You're gonna play a game, crank it on high. Simple. Over here, yeah, it's like Transformer case. Just like Transformers. Okay. 200 millimeter fan. Tricolor. Optional 200 millimeter fan. Or take this off and you have, when a case says liquid cool ready, it usually means you can mount something somewhere to make it liquid cooling. This one comes with mounts up here that you could put a dual rad inside. So you could put the H100 or the Thermaltake version of the H100 on here. Very awesome. So either you can have more fans or you got liquid cooling. I call it the liquid cooling. Okay. So what else? Let's go to the side, the business end of this case. We have, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.25. These are toolless locks for your optical drive, so you don't need to screw them. If you want to screw them, go right ahead. More stability. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 hard drive based. Also toolless. So take this off. Take this one out. They're not toolless for the, well, some are toolless for the 2.5, but this one is just toolless for the 3.5. So put that there. There. lining up. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't know. I had that little thing on the bottom. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Actually, more difficult than less difficult than I made it seem. Bingo. And yep, that's about it for the drives. So then we have the motherboard housing. So basically, the motherboard. Whoop. Right in there. Pretty. Pretty, pretty. Alright. Of course, I'm going to shoot pictures of it. So, you could probably tell these little holes around. These are for the different types of motherboards you got. Mini ATX, ATX, extended ATX, and other types of boards. But those are the main ones that they use. What else? We got a bunch of grommet holes. I want to show you guys that from the back actually, because you can see it better. But they're for cable management. And what else? This is where the power supply goes in the bottom. Some of them bring it in the top. So, and oh yeah, the feet. It says like feet. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see that. See that? The feet on the bottom. It's like pull them out. More stability, so it doesn't rock. That's cool. I guess if you live in an earthquake zone, not in New York. So yeah, that's it for the side. Pretty cool. And let's move to the back. We got 3 grommet holes on the top. Again, these are for the open loop systems for liquid cooling. That's for the tubes to go through. We got a pre-installed 140 millimeter fan. You can change that to a 120. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 expansion slots. Great. That's for to put like 3 video cards in here, and there'll be space. More mesh for heat to come out. That's where your power supply button will be, and your cable down here. A cutout for your the back panel of the motherboard. This is where your USBs, your audio, your Ethernet wire, all that stuff will be. And that's it. That's about. Oh, the bottom. Another mesh. The mesh is great. Take this out, rinse it, because since the power supply is in the bottom, it's gonna suck air from the bottom inside. So you're gonna want to have that covered and not allow dust to get in there. So another great feature of to get on a case. And I think you could put an optional 120 fan on the bottom inside, but it's too many fans. Eesh. We're supposed to go fanless with the liquid cooling and putting more. Anyways, this is the other side. So this is basically where your cables will be. These are all your cables for your front or the top on this one, front, top. You got Molex, you got USB, eSATA, or SATA. Yep, 2 SATA ports. That's for the hot swap and the eSATA. Power switch, more Molex. That's for another fan. Power LED. Hard drive LED and reset switch. Audio jack for this HD audio or AC97 audio for the headphone and microphone. And USB, internal USB 3.0. You gotta be careful because some cases come with just like regular the USB. You have to run it through the case and out the back and then connect it to a USB in the back. To have USB 3.0. That was my fault. Stay. Okay, empty boxes in the bottom. So just make sure this is internal USB. Internal meaning you have a USB 3.0 header on the board. So very good feature. Just make sure that's on there. What else? The box, which fell down. What did it have inside? Ugh. Oh, this to turn like a 5.25 into a 3.5 bay for like a media card reader. So this is pretty cool. Keeps the same color scheme. So you put a media card reader there, also it'll be the same color scheme. We got zip ties, so you can zip tie. Got like little places around here where you can put a zip tie through it and zip tie cables together. I'll take a picture when I'm done cable management. These. Oh yeah, in the back, this is where your hard drive will be in the back. So your SATA cables will be back here. So let's manage those too. Screws. That's a CPU power. Because some cases are so tall that the power supply in the bottom, the cable doesn't reach all the way to the top. So they give you an extender for the CPU power. Not the motherboard power, the CPU power. And this looks like a conversion tray. Yep. Where will you put this? Trying to figure it out. I know this goes in the 5.25. I guess in any of them. So you can put this in a 5.25 and you can install another hard drive if you have already filled up the 6 that are there. A hard drive or an SSD or a floppy disk drive. FDD. Okay. Well. What didn't I cover? What haven't I covered? Just the side of the case real quick. You can put another, on this one you can put another 200 millimeter fan. Some of them come already installed per the manufacturer, some of them don't. They just give you the option to put it on there. And it comes filtered also, so you can take off the filter, wash that too. Nice clear panel. So when you do the whole lighting scheme and everything, and everybody can just look at your components like nice, very nice. So clear panel. Some of them do come with clear panel. Most of them do. Some of them don't. That's just how it is. So no, don't fall. No, don't fall. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been part 3 of the tutorial on parts and basically an overview of what you looking for when you're building your own personal computer. That was nothing. That was just a box. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, rage, anything, leave it in the comments below on any of the videos. Ask questions if you don't know. Search the internet. It's a bunch of information there. All these parts, by the way, were purchased from Micro Center. Not my parts, not like the video card. And yeah, those weren't purchased at Micro Center. So the total, my client's budget was $1,000. I told him that was almost impossible, not for the latest, not for like almost the latest stuff that he wanted. I told him I'll be a couple of hundred over. So everything came out to, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that, bit of a technical difficulty. So I was just going to read off the total price for all the parts on the show today. So we have the Intel Core i5 3570K for $189.99. The Crosshair 16GB kit, DDR3 for $119.99. The OZZ 128GB SSD, $99.99. The motherboard, the Asus Maximus 5, $159.99. The case, the Thermaltake Chaser 1, $144.99. The 3TB Seagate hard drive, $179.99. The GT EVGA 640 2GB video card, $114.99. The OZZ 750 watt power supply, $99.99. The Crosshair H40 hydro cooling kit, $64.99, for a grand total of $1,273.37. All this was bought at Micro Center. Still missing the optical drive. That's my optical drive that I showed earlier, which I'm gonna use. I totally forgot to get an optical drive, but that's probably like less than $100. So all in all, I say we round out to 1,400. Just gonna round it. Around there, $50 mail-in rebates. We got $50 in total mail-in rebates. Some of them they're already pre-filled by the register. So what we gotta do is mail them in, and some of them are online. So it's a pretty good deal. And again, you can still upgrade if you need to, depending on the configuration that you're gonna get. If you're gonna go for the basic, mid-end, or you're just gonna go straight up high-end. So yeah, again, budget yourself. My client's budget was $1,000. We went a little bit over, but he wasn't gonna get the latest parts with that budget. It just wasn't gonna happen. So yeah, so basically, to top off the video, like, subscribe, share, and ask questions. If you have any comments, concerns, please leave them in the bottom of this video, of any of the videos, because it's going to be 3 parts. So if any of the videos, leave those comments, concerns, questions that you may have. I always carry my cell phone with me, so I get that email right away. I respond right away. Or on the Facebook page, facebook.com /memoscomtech. Yeah, so that's about it. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in this marble blue planet we call Earth. Have a good one.